Hello and welcome back to Itch's Purples. We have a film review for you. It is today. It is Batman Meow. Obviously, it's not the original film. Um, like the early 80s films. But it has the same kind of style. So let's start off at the beginning. It starts off very dark as usual. It definitely is no different than any of the other films. Certainly there's no that kind of um Batman versus um what was it? Superman universe stuff in it, really. It's all just like down to the to the Brits, the Browns, that kind of thing. It's there's a very young cast in here, so it's kind of the beginnings. So I expect there'll be some more of these for sure. Um, it's I would say it's a good film to watch. In general, I didn't have a problem. I didn't get bored or anything like that. Um, Catwoman was kind of done nicely. Nothing like she looked a bit like the Catwoman film that was on well, not recently, but you know what I mean, the last Catwoman film. Um, it didn't look as bad as that, so that's a change. She seemed to hold her own, and the story was interesting enough to um follow it. She has some uh things to say in this film for sure. She's definitely got more of a role in this film, so without saying too much. And there's some people you probably will know in the film for sure. There's some British actors in there and some TV actors there as well. Um, Obviously, it's about greed and corporate greed, that kind of thing. What's obviously very appropriate right now. Um, Maybe not in the future, but at the moment, it pretty much is. So, yeah, it's kind of it has a Batman beginnings feel. Obviously, it's not the beginnings, the new Batman, of the recent one. Um, so it it certainly has um some new ties into it. I think it's kind of gritty. It reminds me of the Gotham series a little bit. It's kind of, it's very kind of mellow in the way it's done. It's not like they don't take the technology too seriously. It's more about the in-depth story. There's a Riddler in it, and the Penguin's in it as well. There's certainly different types of roles now. And you'll see, you'll see slight twinges to stuff will probably come up, but and generally, I thought their roles were generally good, well done. Um, Obviously, it covers Batman's, that his parents' death a little bit because it always does. Um, but I think it was tastefully done, and it wasn't over the top. Um, One thing I want to say is the Batman's house, Wayne's house. It actually grew very gothic. I kind of liked it. It wasn't this typical kind of push stuff. It was kind of, it looks like, what can I explain it? It looks like, there's wood everywhere, and it's kind of very old worldly. And I think it suits it for that. It doesn't look like a glamorous like house or anything. Of course, it's glamorous in the sense of it's old kind of, castle wood kind of thing, mansions, old mansions from like in the UK, that kind of thing. It looks like that, or Europe. Um, but it's done tastefully, I think. I thought the villains in here were very tastefully done. They were, let's say, they weren't over the top. Um, they generally knew what they were talking about in general. They weren't over the toply done. They weren't like, like the the last Riddler we saw. From the 90s, I think it was the 90s, with Mr. Freeze, that kind of thing. Oh God, I mean, Jim Carrey was okay as Riddler, but I don't think that really suited him very well. And it wasn't, it was done kind of a funny sense. So I hope they don't ever go back to that feels again. Please, I mean, if you're going to make jokes, make odd joke, but don't keep going on about it. So the Riddler was done in the sense of a way that he was really just getting set up. So as I say, they were pretty young at this point. But yeah, if you've seen all the remakes for the 90s and the early 2000s, that kind of thing, like the gritty ones, I think you're gonna really love this. It's really kind of good. And it kind of reminds me of the games that have been released recently. It has that kind of feel to it. Obviously it's not as heroic, with all the fantasy stuff in it. It's more about, telling a story and about Gothic falling apart, that kind of thing. So it's more about Wayne, and obviously Batman's still obviously a big part of it. And they do show a little bit of technology, but it's kind of just there. It's not like forced in your face or anything. The story is the main plot at the end of the day. It's not all about effects and stuff like that. So that's really good. Should you go and see it instantly? Maybe you should hold back. I don't know. Maybe watch it during the day, that kind of thing. But I would say if you're excited, obviously go and see it first day. I know some cinemas are having it on early on, so go and see that. And yeah, I would say definitely we'll be definitely come back to this. I do have some plans for another reviews coming up that I haven't done yet. I kind of hold that out on the Matrix one because I was unsure about that one, what to say about it and what I want to do with that slate, so we might see that. So yeah, if you like what you saw with the original Batmans, I'm sure you're aware of the 2000 ones. They were done really good with the Joker and stuff like that. And there's not really anything to watch at the end of the movie, so you don't have to watch the end of credits. There's very slight teaser. I don't even think it's worth you watching it, guys, to be honest. But if you want to watch it, go watch it. Watch to the end. It's always good to see who made it, I suppose. But there's nothing really that big that you really should care about. So not like the Marvel films anyway. But overall, I thought the Catwoman was good. The actors were definitely good in it. I felt that the Riddler was done pretty well. And the Riddler's not totally bad in this one. He's kind of, let's just say he's a little bit mental, but he's kind of just, he has a good heart, but he does it in the wrong way. But all bad guys are kind of like that anyway. And so we'll see what happens next. But I'm definitely enthusiastic about this one. It seems like Batman is Batman, and we're not like linking it with something else at the moment. What's good? I really like that. So if you like that kind of thing, go and watch it. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye.